Alrighty then, so now that we've learned a little something about lines, let's concentrate on shapes. Now, shapes are very useful, right? Because you can take more complex things and break them down into their various shapes. So for instance, this rose and this vase right here, I might just start breaking this down into, okay, I've got sort of this shape up here that's making my rose. And it's just an organic shape, more on that a little bit later. Okay, and I see this is coming in here, and I've got something like this here. These are some other shapes for these leaves. Notice my lines are very, very light as I'm drawing these things, just drawing the various shapes that I see. Okay, and so then here, the vase itself breaks into a shape, right? And here we go, something like this. Now, I'm sure this is not the most accurate drawing in the world, but if I were to darken these now, you would see that here we've got this organic shape right here, right? And this is where the stem is, also a shape. These leaves, also shapes. Once again, these are just organic shapes. Okay, then we get into the vase, and it is more of a geometric shape. It would be a cylinder, right? Sort of a modified cylinder, but a cylinder nonetheless. Okay, so those are our shapes that made it up, right? Here's another example here. We've got Fred the skull right here. And so once again, we've got something that we've got just sort of this spherical shape right here that's making up Fred. And then he's got a longer shape right here. Okay, he's got this more triangular shape right here where the nose would be if he was still alive. These shapes here, they're almost a little bit more square, okay, for where the eyes are, okay, keeping it really, really simple, okay, more organic shapes where the mouth is, that kind of thing. And we can start making it a little bit more complex as we find our way through. But the point is that just breaking it down into simple shapes, that's what really works. Okay, well, let's practice with that a little bit. We've got an exercise. Okay, so here we go. So the finished exercises are going to look a little bit like this right here. It's going to take 3 pieces of paper, okay, and we've got a square. That is a basic geometric shape that is extraordinarily useful. Square or rectangle, either way. A circle. Now the circle could be a circle or an oval. You see, square, rectangle, circle, oval. We've got a couple of other very useful shapes, such as the triangle and the parallelogram. The parallelogram is an extremely useful shape. Okay, and a couple more. We've got the polygon. Okay, and so that is a shape with multiple sides. It could have 4, like a square or a rhombus or a parallelogram, whatever, but it doesn't have that definition. It could be any sort of old sort of geometric shape. It could even have curved lines in it. That would be your polygon. Very useful shape right there, right? Because things are not usually perfect squares as we look at them. And then finally we have organic, and I've given a couple of different organics because organic is absolutely undefined. And you saw how useful that organic shape was when I was making the rose. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at how we're going to go about doing those together. Now, first off, you're going to start off very light indeed, right? So, alrighty then. First things first. So, we're going to use the pencil, holding it way back here, right? So that we can come very, very smooth and drawing a straight line. Notice how I use the edge right here to help as a guide. Okay, finding something that's about the center. That's probably good enough. And using my whole arm, I can draw a pretty darn straight line, right? And then I want to divide that into 6 spaces, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and go here would be a shape out here. 1 space and 6 spaces. Very good. Very light, right? Those are construction lines. Okay. And you can start with your dark. Hey, if that's what works for you and you got to work up to your light lines as a practice, fine. But in any case, I want you to go light over here. Okay, and so here's my square, very light. Now here is a tip for drawing squares. Don't draw them all around like this, right? Draw them parallel. Draw one side, the other side, then draw the top and the bottom, right? You're going to get much better squares that way. So that's nice and light. Okay, so now a little bit more pressure. Maybe move my fingers up a little bit if that helps. But here's medium. Okay, and finally dark. Now notice with my dark ones, I haven't drawn dark right off the bat because if I'd drawn dark ones right off the bat, then I couldn't erase or change anything if I needed to. All right, but that's looking pretty good. Let's label these. So this one was medium. Okay, and this one is going to be dark. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just darken that in. Okay, nice and dark and strong. This is going to crease my paper. I'm never going to get rid of these lines here. Right? These ones here, oh, easy to get rid of. These ones here, I still have a chance. This one, no way, right? Okay, so now the circle. Now, drawing circles, once again, you want to use your whole arm. And if you don't get a circle, a perfect circle this first time, that's okay. Maybe yours is more of an oval. Maybe it's more of an egg shape. Because the point right now is just learning the definition of shape, and our understanding as doing drawings. Okay, so let's see though. If I draw very lightly, you see, if I draw very light, it gives me the chance to kind of go over that, make some little corrections, drawing all the way from my shoulder. And ooh, it's a pretty good circle. Let's see if I can do another one. And I bet you can barely see it, right? Because I drew really light. Let's label that one light. Okay, so that one is light. Okay, and so now we're going to do medium. Okay, so, there it is. Wait a minute, he said he was doing medium, and that's really light. Right, because I want to be able to draw it light so that I can really get it pretty good, pretty free. The square, I went free because how hard is it? It's square, right? This one was a little bit trickier, right? So that is my medium, and I've drawn it light at first with my construction lines. I constructed the circle first. Then I came back and gave it a nice little medium line. Let's call that medium. Okay, and now a nice dark circle. Okay, so once again, I'll back my hand up here a little bit, and I'm going to draw really light, really light. All right, really light. And I'm going to draw all the way from the shoulder, right? See, and look, I get to erase because I drew really light. No big deal. Okay, and so now I can make it as dark as I want because I've got that nice construction line, guideline, whatever you want to call it. Generally speaking, we just call it a construction line Okay, so there it is. And nice and dark. Alrighty. There it is. Okay. So, and I'm going to take these construction lines here, right? I'm going to make those nice and dark. Really define my graphic here. Okay. Here. And here. Drawing with my whole arm. There it is. Okay. Now, this is, what is this? This is drawing 2, isn't it? So drawing 2. Okay. And what was it on? Well, it was on line, wasn't it? And it was on value. We did light, medium, and dark, right? Value. But it was also on shape. Very important. Okay, and who are you? All right, so give me your last name and your first name. Okay, what period you're in? Maybe you're in period 7. I don't know. Whatever period you're in. And if you're in more than one period, then give me that one too. Maybe you're in period 7 and period, I don't know, 12. Don't have a 12 period. Maybe period 3. I don't know. Whatever, right? And so exercise 2. This was exercise 2, right? Okay. And that one's ready to rock and roll, isn't it? But wait, there are more shapes. Okay, because those are 2 great shapes, right? Okay. But here's a couple other really great shapes right here. Okay. So we're going to have the triangle and the parallelogram. Okay. So once again, I'm going to draw really light at first. You see where I'm holding my pencil? Really light.